Let's make a super easy keto soup. 8 cups of cauliflower. Drizzle with oil and add salt and pepper. Like so. Peel and toss that garlic on and cook for 20 minutes at 400. Chop up your onion and celery. And let's give them a saute. I don't need to rush because I got plenty of time. I can feel Rachel's eye roll behind me. When they're done, throw them in a pot. Then cauliflower and garlic in. Add a box of vegetable blood. Rachel, how long does this cook for?
Until it's done.
Well, she's the boss. And I think it's done. Drop in a brick of the good stuff. Like that. No, it's not a toy, it's a blender. I can't talk right now, I'm doing hot girl creamy! And voila. Alright, let's use our axle ladle and pour it in. And since I'm on a liquid diet, that's mine, and that one's that. That soup is so good.
This will blow your mind. Keto Cheetos. I miss Cheetos. Let me show you how I make them. First, you're gonna start with half a cup cheddar cheese. Freeze for 2 hours. After 2 hours, heat your oven 300. Put that cheese in your bowl. Close it with a saran wrap so it doesn't start flying everywhere. Use a handheld blender. It should look like this. In a separate bowl, break 4 eggs. Separate it. Put the egg yolks away. Add cream of tartar or baking powder to your egg whites. Mix with a handheld mixer. And you add 2 tablespoons almond flour. Add your cheese. And add cheddar popcorn seasoning. Fold carefully with a spatula. Get a long cup, a Ziploc bag. Add all your mixture in. A baking pan with a silicone mat or parchment paper. And start piping away. I obviously had to make them look like Cheetos. Bake for 25 minutes. Oh my god, this tastes exactly like Cheetos. Enjoy.
That's how everybody should be making their potatoes. Let's clean our potatoes.
After cleaning my potatoes, I cut them an 8-inch thick with a mandolin. You can use a knife if you like. Melt half a cup of butter, add it to our bowl. Next, we're going to chop up a 1/4 cup of oregano, 2 tablespoons of thyme, and grate in 2 cloves of garlic. And then next, we're going to add a half a cup of Parmesan and cheddar cheese, and sprinkle in some salt, pepper, mix till they're all coated. We're going to stack these into a muffin tin, put them in the oven at 400 degrees, cover with foil, and after 30 minutes is up, take off the foil, put them back in till they're nice and brown, take them out and top them with some Parmesan. Look at that.
Here's an easy recipe to make baked brie with caramelized onions and bacon. Melt 2 tablespoons of butter and add in 1 thinly sliced onion. Cook for 10 minutes and add in 3 strips of cut bacon. Add 1½ tablespoons of brown sugar, half a cup of dried cranberries, and 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Cook it until it's caramelized. Spray a little oil on the baking dish and bake the brie for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. Remove and then add the caramelized onions and pistachios. I also like to add a drizzle of honey.
Today we're gonna make a sugar cookie milkshake. First we gotta decorate our jar. Get some frosting on there. Happy sprinkles. I don't really know if this is gonna work. Oh, it did! Oh my gosh, yes. Stunning. Okay, set that aside. Ice cream. 2 big scoops, a little splash of vanilla, a tiny bit of milk. I'm gonna do a scoop of frosting, and then 2 Pillsbury sugar cookie doughs. This stuff is so good. Don't worry, it's safe to eat. Look, it says it right here on the package. Here we go. More sprinkles. Cheers.
An Oreo martini. 25ml vodka, 25ml sugar syrup, 25ml chocolate liqueur, and 50ml of almond milk. Nice. Shake it up, strain into your coupe, finish that with an Oreo biscuit crumb, and that is exactly how you make.
You asked for the Nobu black cotton miso, and here's the recipe so you don't have to spend $38. First, grab a pot and add sake, mirin, and bring it to a boil to evaporate the alcohol. Next, add white miso paste, sugar, and mix it up, baby. Grab your cod, drench it in the marinade, and let that sit for 2 days. After 2 days, take it out of the wrap and do not wipe the marinade. Grab a skillet, coat it in oil, and place in your cod scale side up. Bake for 25 at 400, and there you have the Nobu style black cod with miso, and it tastes the same.
Bean TikTok. Today I'm showing you how to turn this into these magical Samoa cookie bars. You guys freaked out over the black bean brownies that I posted last week, and you can't imagine the amount of fart comments I got, but I promise that cooking with canned beans is the best way to sneak protein and fiber into desserts. You can't taste the beans. And if your New Year's resolution is to get healthy in 2021, I've got you. You can find so many healthy desserts on my page. To make the Samoa flavored, I mixed in chocolate chips, coconut, and walnuts, and they're heavenly. Whoever you
Hey guys, it's Sabrina Stella, and you guys requested to see our vodka sauce recipe, so here it is. It's super similar to a lot of the other ones, but we're just going to show you how we do it. We started by slicing half an onion and sauteing it, and then we added in some garlic. Once the onions were slightly translucent, we added in our tomato paste. Then we added some vodka and stirred until it was combined. Afterwards, we added some heavy cream. All of the ingredients and measurements will be listed in our Instagram. We seasoned with some garlic powder, paprika, salt, and pepper. We ran out of red pepper flakes, but if you have some, definitely add them. Once our water was boiling, we salted it like the sea. Then we added our orecchiette. Please let me know if I said that wrong. Then we removed some of our pasta water and set that aside. After the pasta was done cooking, we added it to the sauce. Our pan almost overflowed, so we had to get a bigger one. Then we added some butter and freshly grated Parmesan. And finally, we added some pasta water to thicken it up a little bit. We topped it off with Parmesan and basil. This was...
Alright guys, this video's for lovers of gumbo and Dan OC. Probably gonna offend about half the world. In your preheated medium temperature Dutch oven cast iron, we're gonna add us a little over a half cup of canola oil. A little over a half cup of all-purpose flour. Stir this for about 20 to 30 minutes and get it nice and golden brown. Preferably with a wooden spoon, but that's all I got. Keep going, the darker the better. Keep going, turn it down low. Looks like chocolate.
Green bell, celery,
Mix it in. Keep mixing.
green onions,
Some squeeze garlic. 1 pound of andouille. 4 cups of chicken or seafood stock. Bring to a boil.
pop the top, spice potatoes, and bunch of it.
Some sassafras. 1 cup shrimp.
Let's make homemade honeycomb. Combine the honeycomb ingredients and bring to the boil. Cook until it reaches a dark caramel color. Stir in the baking soda and immediately pour onto a baking tray. Allow the honeycomb to cool until it completely sets. An hour later, here we have our set honeycomb. Boom, dig in and enjoy.
Let's make homemade garlic powder. Preheat to the lowest setting your stove goes. This will take forever, but separate and peel all of your cloves. You want about 2 pounds of garlic. If you give your clove a light smash and then put it in a jar and shake it, you get perfectly peeled garlic. Put the garlic in your food processor, or you can slice it up, either one. This is already a long process, so I find this to be easier. Mince it up. Get a baking sheet, and if you have parchment paper, go ahead and lay that down. Now spread out your garlic. When the recipe calls for 1 clove of garlic. Now we're gonna place this in our oven and cook for about 10 hours until it's nice and crisp. You can use a dehydrator for this, but surprisingly, I do not have one. Once they're nice and crispy, I like to give them a little mix. We still have a little moisture, so we need to keep cooking. It's finally finished. Look at that, you guys. All right, just a few pointers. This will make your house smell like garlic. This will make your hands smell like garlic. There are no preservatives, so it will clump up. Just give it a little fork. Store in an airtight jar and use within a year. Personally, I like to use a molcajete to get that nice fine powder. Look at that garlic powder. Rosemary and garlic.
I was really confused as to whether or not Sebastian from The Little Mermaid was a crab or a lobster. Apparently I'm not the only one confused, but he is in fact a crab, and today we're gonna cook with him. I got the recipe from Walt's Kitchen. They have a lot of recipes to cook your other favorite Disney characters. I started with a pound of chopped Sebastian, half a cup of mayo, and a little bit of Dijon mustard, hot sauce, and Worcestershire sauce. Then I crushed up some saltines, and I added some Old Bay and celery. That was my own little twist. I mixed everything up, and then I covered it with some plastic and let it sit in the fridge for an hour for all the flavors to marry. Then I added some oil to a hot skillet, and I used a 1/3 cup measure to make little patties. And then I used a spatula to smash them down, kind of like a smash burger. And you want to make sure that the pan is really sizzling. They just take a couple minutes on each side. Who knew Sebastian would taste so good?
All right, we're gonna make a treat that we make every Christmas, but you can make it any time of the year and everybody seems to just love it. So they're Rolo Delights. The recipe's actually on the back of the Rolo packages. So it's 3 ingredients. You're gonna need Rolos, you're gonna need twist pretzels, and pecans. If you don't like pecans, you could use a different nut, but we happen to have the praline pecans, so I'm gonna use those, so they'll be a little extra fancy this year. Let's get into it. Parchment lined baking sheet and your oven set to 250. Pretzels all laid out. Now we're gonna put on the Rolos. Put 1 Rolo on each pretzel, and then we're gonna pop it in the 250-degree oven. In they go, 3 to 5 minutes. You'll know when they look melty. All right, so out of the oven, they're kind of melty. You can see that. And be careful not to touch them because they will mash in. So now let's put the pecans on. You can use any nut, but I'm using the praline pecans just because I have them. All right, pecans are on, and now we're gonna cool it. So I'm gonna pop it in the fridge, but if you live somewhere cold, you could probably just pop it in your garage. All right, so here we are, testing them.